Big Ten Conference champion himself, and then an 82 draft pick of the NBA. Can't wait to get him on and discuss all things NBA. So without further ado, let's bring our main man in. Can't thank him enough. Trent Tucker joining the show. Sir, how you doing, brother?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got you.
Good.
How you doing, brother? Appreciate you joining us.
Things are good out here in the Midwest.
Oh, okay. Are you in Minnesota?
I'm in Minnesota now. Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, my co-host, he works over at Fox with Paul Pierce and them. Paul Pierce said if the Celtics lost game 2, he was going to walk his ass from home all the way to the studio in a robe and house shoes, and apparently that's what he's doing. So my co-host is having to cover all this the dramatic stuff that's going on.
Yeah, to lose one game after being up by 20, but to lose the second game on your home floor after being up by 20 is unheard of. So you have to assume there's some panic in the Boston Celtics fan group.
Where you at with the current NBA? I just got to go right into it. You played in an era where obviously it was football-esque. It was a gladiator sport. There wasn't an interview. There wasn't a review or every 5 minutes for a flagrant one foul. Those were just fouls. And now we're watching a game, to me, that's just become so perimeter savvy that we're shooting 63s in a game, which to me just is crazy. But where you at with the game as far as how it's transitioned and how much money they're getting to do less, in my opinion?
Well, the game is what it is today. I think in the latter part of the 90s, they wanted to try to bring in more offense. So they turned the game to become more offensively, and the three-point shot became a big part of what most teams were doing. And so the players have really benefited from how the game is played today, not only from a playing standpoint, but also from a financial standpoint. So, I think that's a good thing for all the guys who are involved.
No doubt. Let me ask you, All-Star game wise, you were in the. I think you were the first Knick to represent the three-point shooting contest at the time when the dunk contest and the three-point contest, everything was big. Where are you at with the All-Star game and how Adam Silver is doing this? Every year it seems like we're throwing stuff at the wall to get it to stick for the viewership to increase because we don't really have an All-Star game anymore. It's more of a just free-for-all. Whatever happens, happens. What happened to the stars wanting to dunk and shoot threes and all that stuff? Is that just a lost art?
I think it became less important for the star players to participate in some of the competition during All-Star weekend compared to like in the latter part of the 80s where your top flight players were a part of the three-point shooting contest. They were part of the slam dunk contest. So they made it a very special weekend for them to be a part of. I think in today's game, when you don't have your best player participating, you're going to lose some viewership. You're not going to have the star power to draw people to the television set, and you lose the competitive edge. I would like to see, maybe I don't know if they can do this, but make the All-Star weekend all about the international, players playing against the American players, and I think that would be a whole lot of fun for the fans to watch.
No doubt. I go on All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson and certain guys, and they're talking about the NBA needing like that star white dude that's an American, not a Euro. You agree that this Cooper Flag kid out of Duke can be that guy to bring that Larry Bird type of guy that we haven't seen since probably. Nash, Nowitzki, those guys were flooring guys. They weren't Americans. Does the NBA need a American white kid to be good?
I don't think so. I think the fans now are just looking for good quality basketball, and I think we can get back to the fundamentals of the game at a much younger age. Helping kids to become better players. The fans will appreciate a good style of basketball. When you see that the game sometimes can be so one-sided in terms of just three-point shooting, like, there's 45 three-point shots in the game, that can turn the fan base off. But I think if we can get back to helping kids develop and become better basketball players and better students of the game will continue to thrive.
Is European basketball more of what you just said? Are they more teach and practice during the week compared to us and AAU and the young kids here in America? They're just playing games, traveling, and you really don't get the fundamentals anymore as far as dribbling, shooting, rebound, all the stuff, pivot, low box, all the stuff that we learned when we were young. Is this something that's been dismissed?
Yeah, I think so. AAU basketball can be bad and good. It gives the kids an opportunity to play games and against kids from all around the country that they hear about to see how they can level up where they are as a competitor. I hear about this guy from Florida, I hear about this guy from New York. So all of a sudden now I'm a kid from Michigan. I get a chance to see, how good they are and how good I can be. But when you don't have a chance to practice and you don't have a chance to work on those fundamental skills, you create so many bad habits. And as you get older and the more bad habits you pick up, they become harder to break. All the guys who I had the great fortune of playing basketball for, the Rick Pitino's and the Phil Jacksons and the Hubie Browns, they really stress practice and fundamentals. And that's how you become better, not only as a player, but also as a team.
And even in football, man, as a coach and player for my life, like, practice was supposed to be harder than the game, so the game was fun, and we executed what we did. But practice, we were knocking each other out. Basketball, I'm sure you could attest, basketball practice was much, much tougher and harder than it is now, and I think that's what's equated to this 7-foot game. 7-footers now shooting threes, and I don't know if Ewing and them would have wanted to go out there on the perimeter. I think they wanted to stay down low, which now we got Wembanyama and all these freakish, talented kids. I just don't know. I don't know what it's doing. But speaking of that, let me ask you, if you had to put a name on it, since Jordan and then Kobe, obviously, and other greats, who's changed the game at a bigger impactful level, Steph Curry or LeBron?
I would say LeBron James is because, of his unique athletic ability at his size. Steph Curry is perhaps the greatest, long-range three-point shooter in the game, in the history of the game. But the game was changing as he was coming in. So we were going to the three-point shot. I think what he does best has benefited him the most is because that's how the game is being played today. Now, LeBron James may be the best athlete to ever play, basketball. But when you have a guy who is at his size and the things that he has been able to do for a very long time, if you talk about a guy who's had a huge impact on the game, it probably has been LeBron James. And I know people are always kind of asking the question, who's the best here or there? And I get that a lot from a lot of the guys who I talk to around the country, because I had the great luxury of playing against Michael Jordan and with Michael Jordan. And my top three players, and I would say these are my top three guys of all time. Michael Jordan is 1, LeBron James is 2, and Magic Johnson is number 3.
Really?
Yeah.
You got LeBron over Kobe.
Yeah.
Got you. You played, man. I'm not gonna ever question somebody that played. That's what people do all the time. Oh, I'm like, man, you played against them, with them. I'm not ever questioning a person that did that. Let me ask you real quick. Gary Payton came out and said Dale Ellis is the greatest three-point shooter we ever saw, and his son obviously plays with Steph.
Dale Ellis is very good. I mean, there's so many guys that I played against who were great long-range shooters, but the three-point shot was not as big when I came into the league as it is today. But the things that Steph Curry can do off the dribble from long range, I haven't seen any other guys in any other era be able to do that. And that sets him apart from the rest of us. It's because most of us was catch and shoot guys. We were set up off of penetration by our point guard or inside-outside game. But Steph Curry can handle the ball so well, and he can create space not only from 25 feet, but also from 35 feet. So when it comes down to looking at and naming who is the greatest three-point shooter or long-range shooter in the history of the game, I think his ability to shoot the ball off the dribble from that distance makes him the best.
Great point. Larry was catching and shooting. He wasn't doing all that, and neither was Miller or Ray Allen or any of these other great. Dale Ellis. You played. I don't know if you played with Persons or not. Did you have Chuck Person on your team?
I never played with Chuck Person, but I played against Chuck Person.
I know he was an assassin.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about your Knicks, man. You were there for a long time. I know your heart is there. Where are you at with the Knicks? Going up 2-0, still in some. I actually became pretty good friends with Jaylen Brunson over the last few years. And I think he's a dog, man. He reminds me of the old school mentality guy that just won't let his team lose. Down 20 twice, like you mentioned to start the show. and for them to come back on the Celtics parquet. Can they wrap this thing up in New York?
It's not over yet because, the Knicks have been down 20-plus points in 2 games, and they found a way to come back to beat the Celtics in the first 2 games. Boston, I believe, still has a great deal of confidence. We've seen over the last 3 or 4 years when they get off to a slow start at playoff time, somehow, some way, they've been able to rise to the occasion on the road. This thing is far from over, and the Knicks know that because still on paper, the Boston Celtics, is the better team. But the Knicks have shown how tough they can be, and the grit and the hard work and stand together as a group has allowed them to come back and win these 2 games. And I believe that you hate to see a person get hurt at any point in time during the season. But I believe that when Jaylen Brunson went down with the ankle injury toward the end of the season, it gave him the time off. I believe that he needs to get his body together and get some rest so that he could be strong and ready to go at playoff time. Because we all know that Tibbs does not like to play his bench, and he can wear his players down as they move toward the end of the regular season. And so by Jaylen Brunson having that time off, I think he's fresher and ready to go, and he gives the Knicks a better chance now to advance to playoff time.
Nah, that's a great take. And on the opposite side, Steph Curry goes down. He's probably down at least a week with a hamstring. So, to your point, now you lose a guy like Steph, and they play tonight trying to go up 2-0 on the T-Wolves. What's your take away from Anthony Edwards? Is he the new? Is he possibly the face of the league going forward, or are you still like Tatum or Shea out in OKC, or is Joker still the guy?
I think Joker's still the guy. Anthony Edwards to me is, he could, if he's not, the best 2 guard in the game, he's right there. I think Minnesota is going to have to win consistently for him to really become the face of the league. They're going to have to get back to multiple conference finals with a chance to win a championship, and at some point in time play for an NBA championship. But if I had to pick one guy right now to say who's the face of the league, it's still Nikola Jokic.
The Joker. Who you got winning it all, man? Before you get out of here, who's winning this thing?
Well, at the start of this thing, I thought the Celtics would be the team to beat, but it seems like that the Knicks have found the answer for them so far in the first 2 games in the semifinals of the playoffs. But I'm still going to stick with the Boston Celtics until they're knocked out.
All right. Does Golden State have a chance in the West?
I believe they do. I know losing Steph Curry is a big loss, and you hate to lose your best players at this time of the year, but there was a reason why they made this playoff push.
For Butler.
Because of a guy named Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Butler is a proven playoff performer at this time of the year. He was able to take a Miami team that nobody gave a chance to get to the NBA Finals. He was able to rally them. He's a big-time performer. He's a gamer. But Buddy Hield also has stepped up his game also.
Yes.
Buddy Hield is knocking down outside shots. All of a sudden now that gives guys like Jimmy Butler a little bit more room to operate in one-on-one type situations.
No doubt. Last thing, what do you got going in the fire right now, Trent? What do you got going every day so these guys can follow what you're doing?
Well, I'm not doing anything in terms of, social media stuff here or there. My kids play hockey. So I spent a great deal of time either in a hockey rink in Minnesota or traveling around the country watching them play hockey. So I just got back from Philadelphia a few days ago with my oldest son in a hockey tournament out there. So
nice.
I'm a full-time hockey dad now.
Hey, young kids, or are they going to college or what?
They are 14 and 15.
Oh, okay.
So I'm in the meat grinder.
Man, hockey, man. We got our co-host who's not here right now dealing with Paul Pierce, but man, who you liking? Who you like winning the hockey in the NHL right now? The Oilers are hot, beat my Kings, and now they're playing the Golden Knights, who have also won it. Hurricanes, Capitals tonight. I don't know. You got a favorite in NHL right now?
I think it might be Connor McDavid's time. They got all the way to Game 7 last year after being down 3-0 to the Florida Panthers. Losing 2-1 was a hard break for them. They had a tough opening round with the Kings, like you mentioned. I think the 4th time in the last 4 years these 2 teams have faced off in the first round, and it seems like it just might be their time. Along with Leon Draisaitl, it could be for the first time that Connor McDavid has a chance to win the Stanley Cup.
Man, love to talk some hockey. It's great. Man, I can't thank you enough, Trent, for hopping on, taking some time out, man. Stay safe out here. Bone success to you. Appreciate you jumping on, man. You're a legend. Appreciate you, brother.
All right. Hey, thanks for having me.
All right. Take care.